You ever meet someone whose whole passion just seems to be unlocking potential in other people? You know, that person who absolutely thrives on building up their friends, their colleagues, their teams? They're the ones who seem to get way more joy out of your success than their own. Well, today, we're going to dive deep into a really fascinating personality type that explains that exact drive, the feeling extrovert. But before we get into all the nitty-gritty mechanics, let's just focus on this one single, powerful idea. Who is a kingmaker? Now, this isn't just some catchy title. It's the absolute core mission and the natural role of the feeling extrovert that we're about to unpack.
All right, so here's our game plan for today. First, we'll get to know the feeling extrovert and what that term really means. Then, we're going to look under the hood at the unique biological blueprint that actually shapes them. From there, we'll explore their incredible strengths, their ultimate purpose as a kingmaker, and finally, we'll see where they really shine in their careers and in learning. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's get right to the heart of it. What exactly is a feeling extrovert, or FE, in this framework? Well, it all starts with understanding their core intelligence machine. So let's break this down. The F stands for feeling. This is their main processor, their intelligence machine. It means they operate primarily through emotional intelligence. Now the E stands for extrovert, and you can think of that as the power switch. It means their emotional processor gets turned on by the outside world, so their energy, their motivation, it all flows from the people and events around them, and then inward.
And here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't just some psychological concept, It's actually rooted in a very specific biological and neurological blueprint. So let's take a look at how their brain and body are actually wired.
Deep inside the brain, in an area called the right limbic lobe, that's where we find the FE's command center. And the key thing here is that this part of the brain has a looser structure. Now, that's not a good or a bad thing. It just means their engine is wired to be kickstarted by stuff happening outside of them. That's why they need that push, a lively conversation, a team project, a cause they really believe in to truly fire up their energy and their mood.
A great way to think about this is like an external charger. FE types pretty much rely on an outside source to power up their battery. They might seem a little sluggish on their own, but the second they plug into a social environment or an inspiring person, their engine just roars to life, and they become incredibly energetic and passionate.
And this powerful engine isn't just a metaphor. It actually shows up in their physical build, which is called a displastic physique. All this really means is they have a very powerful engine. We're talking large heart and lungs, that's supported by a relatively smaller bone structure. This combination gives them a very distinct and powerful physical presence.
So what does that actually mean in the real world? Well, that big engine gives them fantastic oxygen capacity, which makes them naturally suited for endurance stuff like marathon running. Their smaller bone structure often gives them this really sturdy, powerful look. The only potential trade-off is that this powerful build can sometimes mean their back is a little less flexible.
All right, so now that we understand the hardware, let's take a look at the software, the incredible personality traits and superpowers that this unique blueprint creates.
If the feeling extrovert has one defining superpower, it is their SQ, or social quotient. We all talk about IQ, right? But SQ is their domain. This is a deep, intuitive understanding of people. They can walk into a room and just instantly read the emotional temperature. They just get group dynamics, unspoken tensions, and social cues in a way that honestly seems like magic to the rest of us. And this leads right into their signature ability, magnifying. An FIE has this unique talent for looking at another person and seeing not just who they are right now, but everything they could be. They can spot a tiny spark of potential and just instinctively know how to fan it into a flame. This, right here, is the foundation of their entire purpose.
These superpowers are built on a solid foundation of 10 core traits that really define them. And as you can see here, they're all deeply social and emotional. It's not just that they're empathetic. They genuinely feel what other people are feeling. They're not just communicative, they are persuasive because they connect on that emotional level. They are natural guides and enablers, in the best sense of the word, always looking for ways to support and lift other people up. All these traits combine to make them the ultimate people person.
So, where does all this lead? What happens when you combine an external drive, a high social intelligence, and this incredible ability to magnify potential? Well, it all converges into one natural, powerful life purpose, the kingmaker.
This is the natural path of the kingmaker. It starts with finding and developing individuals, or cadres as they're called. Then they use their social genius to build those people into winning teams.
And often, they actually prefer to be the owner or the founder, the force behind the scenes, rather than the public face. Their greatest fulfillment, their greatest joy, comes from making someone else the king.
And this is probably the most important thing to understand about them. For a feeling extrovert, success is not measured by their own trophies or titles. Their personal scoreboard, the true measure of a life well lived, is the success of the people they have coached, mentored, and elevated.
So, if you're an FNJ, or maybe you know one, how do you put this unique blueprint to work in the real world? Let's take a look at their ideal environments for learning and for career growth. Because their charger is external, they just don't learn well by sitting alone with a book. They need that interactive discussion and debate. They are auditory learners, so they absorb information by listening. Praise is a huge motivator for them, and having a learning companion, someone they really connect with, can dramatically boost their mood and their ability to actually remember information. So it's absolutely no surprise then where they thrive professionally. Just look at these industries: psychology, communication, diplomacy, public relations. What's the common thread here? They are all built on understanding, influencing, and connecting with other human beings. Roles like a counselor, a public speaker, a diplomat, or a promoter aren't just jobs for them. They are a perfect expression of their innate talents. So we've seen how the feeling extrovert is literally wired to find potential and to build others up. And this leads to a final, crucial question. Not just for the FE types watching, but really for all of us. Whether it's in our family, our team, or our community, whose potential will you choose to magnify?